Yo. 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 What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back, welcoming you to the post-fight show with Stormybman for this Saturday, August 26th, 2023. And this is the post-fight show for Anderson versus Rudenko and also Usyk versus Dubois. I want to say welcome everybody and thank you for tuning in to Stormybman for his post-fight show. I decided to do a single post-fight show and not split it up because I'm going to focus on these heavyweights that graced us with their presence this Saturday, and we had quite an interesting mix of action. But thank goodness the young, capable contender, Jared Big Baby Anderson, was able to close the show with a performance that spoke volumes about what the future of the heavyweight division could look like with his participation. Thank you, Big Baby, for your efforts this night. Man, I want to see who we got in the building before we get to cooking. I'm not going to keep you guys very long. We'll make our remarks and release you all into your evening where you can enjoy the rest of your weekend. We got William, old school, is out there saying salute, Stormy B Man, peace, my brother, and y'all smash the like button, people, when entering the building. Peace. Yep, Jared 011 Green is back with us saying what up, Stormy, in chat. DP Rocker is in the building. What's good with you, DP? And Universal Truth is back as well, saying salute. Stephen L. the Mac in the building saying Sensei. That's me, says, as far as I'm concerned, Daniel stopped Usyk in the 5th round. Well, you must be a little over concerned there. That's me, because the fight didn't end there. The fight ended later, and you got a chance to see Danny Dubois test out that surgically repaired knee. I talked about that. I talked about it. If you had tuned in to my my live stream, you might have got the Tuesday tussle. We talked about that a little bit, huh? Yeah. How about it? Jay Gibson back with us saying salute. Stormy B Man and the fam. DLP is in the building saying what's up, Stormy B Man? What's good with you? Stephen L says Eastern European don't like body shots. Man, I can tell you that nobody likes body shots. Stephen L. also says Efe got beat in the nuts. Yeah, it was a nutty Saturday for boxing. I must say that. The low blows resonated throughout the broadcast on both ESPN coverages. Couldn't escape it tonight. Shower Allah is out there saying, Stormy, blessings everyone. Appreciate you, Shower, with those channel emojis. DLP says, that's me, yep. And then he quitting the knife. Yeah, Universal Truth said, yeah, I hope Efe don't plan on having any more kids. Night Train says, I'm with you, Stormy. Peace. Yeah. Shakur Rikinson. Listen, man. Man, who the hell is that? Shakurikis. Oh. Man, my stomach hurt, man. Oh my goodness. I wasn't even prepared for that one, man. I wasn't prepared for that one. Oh my goodness. Oh. That's me says that was 100% a legal shot. William says, I thought Andrew Gulada's brother was fighting tonight. Revenge on the nuts. Oh my goodness. And listen, if you want to have a clinic on body punching, watch the performance of Big Baby Anderson tonight, man. None of his punches straight low. They was right in the flask, huh? Right in the barrel, huh? Right in the keg. Yeah. And no matter how much Rudenko tried to pull his trunks up, Jared just kept the shots just above the belt line and was crushing that guy. He looked like a busted can of biscuits, huh? On a Sunday morning. Wait a minute. Listen, man. Rudenko was like, y'all didn't tell me this dude was a body puncher like that. If he had known Jared was going to fight like that, he would have pulled out of this fight. That boy going to have lumps and bumps. He going to be peeing blood for a week. Man, Jared went to his body like he was in Pep Boys. He ought to come out. You know how Big Baby like to wear those outfits when he comes to the ring? His next fight, he should come out there in a mechanic's jumpsuit with a toolbox. Oh man. Oh my goodness. America Tire and Body. He was on that boy. I thought, listen, I thought that Rudenko's body was a piece of steel and Jared had magnets in his glove. Clang, 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 clang. With all that body work, Anderson need to be some kind of a sculptor or something. With that body work, he was peeling back in essentials like a mug. He beat that boy so bad to the body tonight. Listen, Rudenko gonna be, when he go to boo boo, his boo boo gonna be red. Listen, man. See, I blame y'all for this because when I try to talk with sensibility, you don't want to listen. But when I talk like this, everybody gets a chance to laugh. So that's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. Oh my goodness. Oh. Just Do Boxing in the house. What's good, man? Great calls on the fights tonight, man. He says, salute, Sensei. OG, respect to the chat. Oh, Stephen L. said he came out like Batman, was decent too. DLP is laughing at Pet Boys. Stephen L. is laughing. William says, Jarrett would hit Rudenko on his right side of the body and the left side was shaking. Man, I'm telling you, boy, he hit that dude so much to the body. You know that boy felt like he was surrounded in there, man. He was like, it's about 5 of them, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. But, hey, man, what a great performance by Big Baby, because this guy had never really been stopped, you know. And for Big Baby to get out there and to have the ref step in, he had to be hammering that guy. And he was. Listen, that kid, what's his name? Jeremiah Milton could learn a thing or two from Big Baby, huh? Watching that performance, because Jeremiah don't know what a body shot is. He don't know what a combination is. He don't know what a barber is. And I don't even know why people might want to think that he know what boxing is, huh? Get the hell out of here, Jeremiah Milton. What the hell are you doing in boxing? Get out of here, huh? And take that piece of rug on the top of your head with you. Get out of here. We like boxing, huh? The hell out of here. TS Boxing, what's good with you? I see you out there. He says, gross mismatch with Rudenko. Horrible. Well, Jarrett turned the heat up on him, man. He turned the heat up. See, that's what happens when you're capable of taking something to another level. That's what he did. Rudenko thought he was going to be in there and hug him and hold him behind his head all night. Jarrett was like, sucker. Fat, 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 fat. And that was his stomach that he was yelling at. But the punches was like, ba-doom, boom, ba-doom, boom, ba-doom, boom. Like the old Fat Albert tune, he was playing it on his belly, bro. He was playing right on his belly. And I loved the tune. I was sitting there tapping my feet to it. Yeah. Yeah. See, when somebody gets in there and they do their job properly, you have to give them all the credit in the world. And Big Baby knew what was at stake here, man, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. I salute the young brother. I salute him. What is he, 23, 24 years old? He's young, and he could take his time, and he could continue to fight like he's fighting, because he did show marked improvement over his fight just a month ago with Prince Charles Martin. Better defense, gave better angles, switched it up to southpaw a couple of times. And then they let us know that he's naturally left-handed. Uh-oh, heavyweight division. Uh-oh, huh? When Danny Dubois can't even show us orthodox well, huh? Yeah, what the hell was that? I don't mean to jump around the place because we have to get to the nut fest that was Efe Ajagba against Kubasiki, or whatever his name is, Koso. Let's just call him Koso, who came in there, Zan, came in there with his way of battering Efe to the genitals. I mean, what in the Andrew Galata? Really? The dude looked horrible in there. Looked like he was a psycho to begin with, They said he had a passport problem. I bet he did when he was originally supposed to fight Anderson a month ago. He had no remorse or anything after being disqualified. They should never let him fight in the U.S. again. Let him continue to fight over there in the Caucasus Mountains or wherever they drug him up. But don't bring him over here no more, because he's unprofessional. I saw something in his eyes that I really didn't like. Body shots are a part of boxing. But because he was being hit, it looked like he totally resented the man he was in there in the ring with. I think that was something ethnic going on there on his behalf. And I don't want to really take your attention and put it in that place, but I'm almost certain that's what that was. And due to what happened in Poland earlier today, you know he had eyes on that. So I think he took it upon himself that he was going to exact a little bit of a revenge factor, but it didn't work out well for him. The only thing I wished was that Efe could have got that 84-inch reach of a right hand on his chin. That would have really, settled matters for the night. But he wasn't going to allow that because he knew a disqualification was coming fast after a 2-point deduction. And what was that, the second or third round? Yeah, third round. So, welcome to the world of DQ, He should be fined also by the sanctioning bodies because that was all deliberate. It was deliberate. A hate crime, if you will. Yeah, Stormy said it, a hate crime. I didn't like what I saw there. I really didn't. But salute to Efe Ajagba. He performed well. He kept the guy at the end of his punches. He was working the body well, and that's what the guy resented. Now you see, Rudenko responded a different way to the body shots. This guy turned his back like he wanted to walk out the ring and then decided, F it, I'm going to hit him in the nuts. See, sometimes in boxing, you see a lot of weird stuff, man. You see a lot of weird stuff. But I like the professionalism by Ajagba. And he got his victory, albeit a painful one. And we'll see what happens as we go forward. TS Boxing says Jeremiah Milton is wasting everyone's time every fight after that viral KO. Boring, no conditioning and lumbering. He needs to get off of TV. I agree. They should package all of his fights up in a cure for insomnia and sell it as a video that you play on your TV when you want to go to sleep. Huh? Because you'll shut your eyes quick as hell watching that crap. DLP says Danny Dubois should have did the same like Big Baby did. Well, Danny Dubois don't have that in him. I tried to tell you guys in my show the other night, you know, when I was playing the Michael Jackson and I was talking about the robot, I was trying to give you hints. I was trying to tell you guys that that's what that was. Even the shot that he dropped Usyk with in that 5th round was a lucky blow, because that's not a shot he normally throws. He just was throwing. It landed in a great spot on the belt line, and Usyk went down in a heap because it hurt, and he milked it, and the ref assisted in he milking it. What you gonna do? They were in Poland, and it wasn't like, you know, they were gonna let that it wasn't like they were gonna, you know, let that be a situation where they count Usyk out or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, they gave him extra time and everything. But it was still Dubois' opportunity that he never turned up the heat in the fight. And as I had mentioned earlier in talking a couple of videos leading up to this fight, I had said that Usyk was better than the guy that Dubois fought in his last fight, where he messed up his ACL. So I'm like, if Usyk is better than that guy, and that guy was a southpaw, you know, Danny's gonna be in trouble. And he was. And I'm gonna tell you something. That punishment that he took from Joe Joyce, it's obvious that he's damaged goods now, people. Talking about Danny Dubois. He doesn't take a punch well at all. That right hand that Usyk put him on the canvas with, it was strong, but it was clean more than anything. And Dubois didn't respond to it very well. He just went on down. Just kind of like caved in. What the hell was that? But again, when we talk about these guys, listen, man, there's one word gets thrown around about modern day fighters too much, and that's great. There's very little great. There's a little good, and it's less than that of warriors. I'm serious. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad when you look at it. Lewis Hinton, what's good with you? Jamal Davis says, salute Stormy and the family. Shakur Rickinson says, Usyk has some home cooking. Definitely that. DLP says, yeah, I know I had no money on Daniel. I learned from the Joe Joyce fight. Man, that kid. Now, Frank Rowan is going to run around. He's going to run around complaining and everything, saying that he wants, a rematch, and, that Dubois won the first time with the knockdown and all of this. But I'm going to tell you something. Watch how furious Warren behaves out of this situation. And it is not because Dubois may have knocked Usyk down and out with a body shot in the 5th round. It's the embarrassment of other people being right that Dubois wasn't ready for this fight. And he resented that, he rejected that, and he wouldn't listen to it. Even when they were talking about trying to make the fight, people were saying that Dubois ain't ready for someone like Usyk. He was a 10-1 underdog, the last I checked. And again, those are the kind of things you have to pay attention to. And he wasn't. He was not ready. I noticed that halfway through the 1st round, Usyk started taking the fight to him a little bit, just with footwork and pressure, and he wasn't responding to that well at all. And I was out there in the chat during the call, and I wrote in the chat, I was like, he's already controlling the real estate in the ring. This ain't going well for Dubois. And I had said Dubois can't box. He can't. Yes, he has 2 arms. Yes, he has a 70+ inch reach. But boxing mechanics is not his thing. Being strong, being able to hit hard, that's his thing. And for whatever reason over in the UK, all of the fighters over there, the men fighters, they all believe, and some of the women too, they all believe that their success is predicated on hitting hard. I was actually going to do a video on that about 7 months ago, and I decided not to do the video, but I still may do it. Because this whole thing about hitting hard don't mean nothing. It helps when you can do a lot of the other things that you're supposed to be able to do technically and naturally when it comes to boxing. However, you go back to a fight like Mike Tyson against Razor Ruddock. Pound for pound, Razor Ruddock hit hella harder than Mike Tyson. But he could barely win a round against the man. Because technically wise, Mike was more efficient, proficient, and capable. Putting punches together, putting punch placement as a premium. And all Ruddock was looking to do was wind up with the hardest shot he could throw that he began to lean on after knocking out a couple of fighters. The so-called smash. And then one time he even landed the smash on Tyson real clean, and it did nothing. All it did was knock Tyson's mouthpiece out of his mouth. It didn't even knock his mouthpiece out. He got hit with the shot, and then his mouthpiece dropped out of his mouth. So it wasn't like he got hit and the mouthpiece flew. He got hit with the shot. Tyson kind of blocked it a little, but it caught him. And then Tyson's mouthpiece dropped to the canvas. But he kept fighting and fired back a couple of punches at him right after absorbing that shot. So being able to hit hard, as Mike once said in that press conference about he and Ruddock, sometimes the guy with the hardest punch doesn't always win. Yeah, that's what happened. Shakur Richardson says, this is the second time that ref bailed him out for a bogus low blow. Same round, too, against Joshua. The matrix is glitching and repeating itself. Not really, because if you look at Dubois and Joshua, they're basically the same dudes. Oops, did Stormy say that? Absolutely he did. So maybe the matrix is repeating itself. My bad. Learn is in the building. What's good with you? Thomas from the Bronx. What's happening? Daryl Alexander saying salute Sifu. Daniel was set up by 9 as well, but they still waved it off. They definitely wanted Usyk to win, but Daniel needs to take it from the champion. Oh, he took it. He took it real deep tonight, huh? Maybe them folks got to Danny and told him, hey, inside of 10, you don't win, okay? And he said, yes, sir, boss. Huh? Southwest Dice is out there saying, salute. We missing 20 likes, family. Hit the like button and show support. Appreciate that. Daryl Alexander says, which you can argue he did. They did rob him of that knockdown. Isaiah GQ says, Dubois moves like he in quicksand. No, he moves like his legs are made of 2x4s, huh? And they don't bend. That's what he moves like, huh? Planet 619 says, if Usyk had more power, that fight might not have made it to round 5. Besides that, I just can't feel bad for someone who quit. Now twice. Oh yeah. He actually quit in the other fight, the fight before this, but they kept giving him chances. He went down 3 times in the first round. That's supposed to be waved off. 3 knockdown rule, man. Where was it? Oh, it was because he was the house fighter. And it was a Frank Warren production. Another Frank Warren production. Oh, fish eyes. Huh? Yeah! Learn says today was low blow Saturday. Planet 619 says, I guess I'm not blind. I've always said that Dubois bears a strong in-ring resemblance to AJ. Listen, man. Where do they get these guys from? Huh? Frankenstein's lab? Sounds about right, huh? They produce Liams and Callums over there, huh? And then they produce AJs, huh? Hey. Hey. Robot. I was talking about him. Robot. Johnny Sacco's robot. Bend your knee. He couldn't, huh? That's why he went to the canvas like he did. You could play back the tape of the 10th round with him and Joyce and the 9th round of him and Usyk, and you see the same dude, huh? The eye just wasn't swollen as much, but the eye was still touched, huh? It was still touched, because I saw him, it was getting like this, huh? That eye was getting like this. It wasn't quite closed, but it was closing, huh? It's like, you know, when the department stores flip that sign, it's 9 p.m. They flip that sign. It was like 8:57. And Dubois' eye was getting ready to go bye-bye. Getting ready to go bye-bye. His eyeball. Yeah. Rick Hill is out there, says, it seems like all the heavyweights in the UK all graduated from the same robot school. Yeah, they did. Huh? They did. But I played that on Tuesday Tussle. I really did. I played it, man. See, y'all should have been around for that. But You got to go back and watch it. Go back and watch my episode of the Tuesday Tussle this week, and you'll see exactly. Roughly around, what was that 32-minute mark or something? You see Michael Jackson make a special appearance in the show. Yeah. Anthony Bolton, what's good with you, bro? Come on, you guys, get my likes up, man. What's up with that? Holding back on the likes, man. Get those likes up. A DLP, not only did Frank have more heart, he had more mobility, believe it or not. And that's not saying a lot, because Frank was kind of like, he was robotic as well, but he wasn't as robotic as these guys. Y'all ever see when Drew Titan be playing that clip of AJ doing the electric slide? You see him bumping into everybody and everything? Dude got no footwork, bro. I would hate to see Danny Dubois trying to do the electric slide. Huh? Because he'd just be standing there. Everybody else moving and going forward and back to the side and everything. And Dubois would be like looking around like this. Crazy, bro. Crazy. It's unbelievable, though. Because there are fixable circumstances for some of these fighters, and for others, there's no hope. But believe you me, Frank Bruno, much better fighter. Lennox Lewis, much better fighter. The Prince had more mobility than a lot of these guys. But some of them, man, that dude Lawrence Okoli, big old stiff. That Bacoli dude, big old stiff. Wasn't it Joshua? That guy is a big old stiff. The light heavyweight. Listen, man. They don't work on footwork. They go in there and they pound on bags and hit on mitts and stuff like that. And they spar to the death. Huh? William, how long have I been saying that Caroline is the best fighter in the Dubois family? I've been saying that, bro. I keep telling you guys, I say things and people don't even listen to me, man. I said it recently. I said it in the video. I said it in my live stream. I've been talking about Caroline. Caroline is ready to take over for Clarissa Shields. If Clarissa Shields moved away from boxing, Caroline Dubois is the one to watch. She really is. And you know what? She has something that Clarissa didn't have. She's a southpaw that knocks her opponents out. She's skillful like Clarissa, but she gets rid of people. And she respects and looks toward Clarissa like a big sister, learning from. Kind of like Shakur looks at Bud Crawford. Caroline looks at Clarissa like that. When Clarissa comes to the UK for events and stuff, Caroline is usually sitting either right next to her or a seat or two away from her, absorbing that positive energy. You see that? You see? That's intellect. That tells me that not only is she a better fighter than her brother, she's a smarter fighter than her brother. Joseph Townsend, what's good with you? Where you been? Jamal Davis. But I'll tell you a good fighter that was on the card tonight that I would like to say something nice about was that Shushu Carrington, man. I like that kid. He looks good. Definitely a blue chipper as far as I'm concerned in the sport of boxing. And he's at featherweight out of New York. That kid is good. Bronzeville, I believe. He's strong. He's got great balance, great hand speed. Transitions from offense to defense exceptionally well. And he had a couple of sequences in this fight tonight against Contreras where he threw like triple left hooks, man. Reminded me of Roy Jones Jr. throwing them triple left hooks like that. Man, that kid looked like $1 million. I mean, he was good tonight. And that guy he was in there with wasn't no slouch, but there was just a separation in talent and ability. And he was piecing Contreras up. Contreras was a tough man too, because did you see his face? Man, he was battered. And Shushu was like taking his time. You know, he looked like he's ready for 10 rounders. 8 rounds is nice, but he's a 10-round fighter now. He's a 10-round fighter now, and reminds me of Bud Crawford a little bit. I know he doesn't switch, but he looked very good. And they kept talking about his eyes. He sees everything, but that's all a part of a fighter that's dialed in and focused on his task at hand. It's like he's paying attention at all times, and he's always looking for his own openings and counters and the opportunities. He's always ready and primed for that. That's a hard skill to teach. And when a fighter has that, you have to acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's something I was able to see with him. Thomas from the Bronx says Shu is nice. I'm going to try to get an interview with him. I hope you're able to. Good kid, man. Good kid. Jamal Davis says, I think Wilder's going to get those belts. They are trying to freeze him out, but it's only a matter of time before they have to fight him. Yeah. Rick Hill says, you're right, brother. I was saying the same thing this evening. That kid is real special. I haven't seen anybody that nice in a long time. There are a lot of young guys, and some of them are very talented, but not all of them are what I would deem blue chippers. Carrington is. I only hope that he's able to break that New York curse, because sometimes some of the New York fighters, their personality characteristics have caused them to fall by the wayside. And I don't know enough of him personally, but in the ring of what I see, the talent is there. It's glaring. It's there. That's why I say he's a 10-round fighter. They don't have to worry about keep putting him in like 8 rounds and 6 rounds. No, it's time for him to go on up to 10. Rick Hill says his defense was impressive. Yes, it was. Big time. Learn is asking, what about Mason? Mason's okay. He doesn't capture my attention like Shushu does. Thomas from the Bronx says, he is a nice guy. I met him and got to chop it up with him in person. Very humble kid, too. That's good to hear. Very good to hear. Planet 619 says, the New York curse, eh? Interesting. Yes, a lot of the New York fighters have not lived up to their potential. We're talking Camacho, we're talking Tyson, Riddick Bowe, Zab Judah. So many of them, bro. So many of them. And all of those that I just mentioned, and there are a few more. I don't want to run through the whole laundry list of them, but they have something in common. Their aptitude. Not attitude, the aptitude. There was something about each one of those men that they had something to hold them back from reaching the potential. Riddick Bowe was a very good fighter. But you have to question about that elevator going all the way to the top at times for him. Zab Judah had issues that kept him from being the best that he could have been. A man who was way more talented than Floyd Mayweather Jr. should have accomplished at least some of what Floyd accomplished, and he didn't. There was a time when they looked at him and they thought about him like Sweet Pea Whitaker with power. But he turned out to be even less than that. Even though he did become an undisputed welterweight champion in the three-belt era. Look at some of the fights he lost. The Costa Zoo loss, he should not have lost to Costa Zoo, let alone the way he did. And the way he behaved when that fight was stopped. It showed a lot. Mike Tyson. You all know his story so well. Hector Camacho. Like I said, I could go on and on. There are far more. And they all share that same trait. Riddick Bowe threw a heavyweight title in the garbage because he didn't want to fight the number one contender that he had contractually obligated himself to when they signed up for the Final Four. 2 fights. And to this day, he's now a bitter old man because of what he chose to do. Lennox Lewis is in the Hall of Fame, the last undisputed heavyweight champion. That's another thing that those guys have in common. All of them have made their way on the police blotter one way or another. Think about that as well, people. Character. And I'm not saying these things to put anybody down, mind you. I'm speaking the facts about when you're looking at these fighters and the potential that they could have and what might hold them back. Will they share those common traits? And when I see a fighter like Shushu and I see how good he is, I don't know about him personally and things like that. I want the best for the guy. And if he's able to escape from what some of those others have fallen to, he'll only ascend higher. That's what my point is. Rick Hill says, well, the good thing is he no longer lives in New York. He lives in Vegas. That's nice, but sometimes you could take a guy out of the city, but you can't take that city out of the guy. So again, it's about the character. If his character and resolve is good, he'll be fine. Time will tell. Learn says nothing about his character will be an impact to him, in my opinion. He's genuinely a good guy, doesn't brag, humble, seen many interviews of Shushu. That's all good, Learn. That's all good, bro. You don't have to convince me. Like I said, time will tell. And I'm not hoping for something bad. I'm just speaking what has been common through history. That's all. I'm not even accusing him. Jamal Davis says, Thomas, most of the fighters were scared of prime Mike Tyson. He had them beat before the bell rang. Sure did. Universal Truth says, my mind went to Berlanga. See, there's another one. But like I said, I wasn't trying to name all the New York guys that fall under this because there's so many, man. I don't even want to take the show in that direction because we could be on here for a minute talking about that, and it might make some people who are from or around the New York area angry because I'm not trying to put them down. I'm trying to point out something that has been common. But maybe if you're from the city or the town, you don't want to acknowledge it. You don't be like, oh, he talking about our city. No. That's like, you ever heard that saying, you could take somebody out of the projects, but you can't take the projects out of them? That's a similar type circumstance. Thomas from the Bronx says, that's right, Stormy. You're right. Jamal Davis says, I would have loved to see Riddick versus Tyson. Tyson didn't want it. Riddick wanted that one. But Tyson didn't. Think about that. The baddest man on the planet, self-professed, didn't want to fight Riddick Bowe. How about that? Planet 619 says, yeah, Zab didn't have it mentally, in my opinion. His biggest win was the Spinks rematch. Thomas says, Camacho with the drugs, shaking my head. Shannon Briggs also. He's also from Brownsville. Hey, man. Yeah, it's like, like I said, you can run the names off if you want to. Only thing I've done is put something to shed some light on something. Do your research and you'll find, damn, Stormy is onto something there. Thomas from the Bronx says, Daniel Jacobs has had a good career, but is he a good person? That's, all of them to a degree have had good careers. All of them. But the character thing, Danny Jacobs has an air of superiority that I don't know, man. It's like, you kind of wonder if it's like, if he even want to identify with, you know, with being related to some of y'all. Yeah, that list can get kind of long, y'all. It can get long. Mr. I'm touching M's. He was touching L's after going over there to the UK, and they gave John Ryder that decision over him, didn't they? Yeah. Y'all might think Stormy is having an alcoholic beverage, but it's not. This is actually a bottle of IBC cream soda. I haven't had one of these in almost a year. I used to love cream soda growing up as a kid. Can't drink too much of it now because it's all basically syrup. But it's nice to have as a treat every once in a while. Yeah. Planet 619. Yeah, that is hilarious, ain't it? Uh-huh. Thomas from the Bronx says, Drew Titan from the Bronx, and he's not a nice guy. Hey, Drew's told me himself that he don't have to be nice all the time, and I know that. So, you know, he like to cut you low. So don't try him, okay? Yeah. Yeah, I know Thomas, you and Drew. I know you guys know each other for a long time. I'm aware of that. But hey, as I was saying, that kid Shushu, he's special, man. He's special. You know? Oh man, salute to Planet 619 out there in that super chat. He says, loving the knowledge and history. Hey man, I appreciate that support, man. I appreciate you. Planet 619. See, you know what's interesting, I'm a little bit, I know Blue Blood likes to refer to me as a historian, but I don't consider myself a historian. But I've been around and seen a lot of fights and know a lot about the sport through witnessing the history of the sport that I've been able to observe, and I retain certain information. So as I sit here and sometimes I talk off the top of my head about things that I can recall and stuff like that, that's just all a part of when you're really into something. You're observant and you study it and you want to get familiar. But when I share like that, I'm sharing from a point of view. Like I like to say, I watch boxing from a different lens. And my lens happens to be of a study, critiquing, absorbing, teaching, and learning nature. And all of that is combined for me. Now, if it comes down to dates and specific names and records and stuff like that, I don't retain that end of it like my dearly departed brother Curtis Anderson used to do. He can do that off the top of his head. I'm like, I was always enamored with Kurt's knowledge like that and how he's able to retain. But we would have these conversations. And he'll say, oh, you remember this guy, his name, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, it was a fight that took place and I was in the snow and this. I was like, yeah, I remember that, Kurt. And we get to talking, you know, and it just flows like that. I miss that brother because he has so much knowledge, man. So much. Jamal Davis says, it's all good, Stormy. Enjoy your drink. I had mine. Yeah, man. That's good. That's good. Planet 619 says, Jamel looking at Danny and Jamal like, yeah, man, isn't that something? Those guys should have fought each other too. Think about all the fights that hadn't been made, man. Now look at how boxing has taken this turn where we're now seeing fights get made right away, or at least are going into negotiation and consideration, because some of these fighters are waking up to the fact that the people want to see them in 50-50 fights, or fights that are just not victories on paper. And that makes the sport better overall. The competitive nature of boxing will always be there. It's just that right now there has been a little bit of a dominance by certain promotional companies having this love affair with milking the public. Take, for instance, the Tyson Fury Francis Ngannou fight that's coming up. Frank Warren had the gall to go on and say that he can understand Fury taking that fight because it's an event and it's a big money grab for Fury. But when you say that, look at what you're not saying. It's an event. It's not a boxing match. And it's a big money grab for Fury. In other words, Fury is in a low risk type scenario, but you have a whole division of men who are waiting for a shot at the title. Men who worked hard. Men who deserve a shot at the title. So you're holding the sport up for some kind of event. And then you expect fans to pay for that event, not realizing, honestly, that it's not even competitive. It's a waste of money. Who out here in this chat right now is willing to drive down the street, reach in your wallet, if you have $100 bill in your wallet, and just as you drive down the street, roll the window down and let it fly out your fingertips and keep on driving? Not me. But they're going to ask you to pay about $100 for that or a few dollars less for that pay-per-view, right? Who the hell wants that? Fury should be fighting Alexander Usyk. If he's not fighting Alexander Usyk, he should be fighting Philip Hrgovic or Frank Sanchez or some of these other fighters that have been waiting for opportunity. King Kong Ortiz. If he had decided to fight King Kong Ortiz, even though Ortiz lost his last fight to what's his name? Andy Ruiz Jr. I'd rather see him fight Ortiz than to fight Francis Ngannou. And if Fury was going to fight Andy Ruiz Jr., I'd rather see him fight that guy than Francis Ngannou. So what the hell is Frank Warren talking about? Getting over on people. I can't with that foolishness, man. I can't. Thomas from the Bronx says, yep, it's an embarrassment. And then you have fans that are okay with this fight. Nobody wants to see that fight. Yeah, the ones who are okay with that are the same ones who will pay to watch Roy Jones and Mike Tyson, Floyd against whoever he's fighting currently in these exhibitions, and the Paul brothers doing what they do. You guys pay and watch the KSIs and all of that? No way am I paying for that foolishness. Absolutely not. When Spence and Crawford were going to fight, when the fight was made available to order, I ordered it straight away. Not a thought. What? How much was it? $80, $90? I don't care. Where do I order it? Boom, it's there. That's a fight. When this Paul brother just fought the MMA guy and everything, I'm like, you know what? That's not even a fight. The dude don't fight as a boxer. Paul ain't a boxer. He may have had an amateur stint or whatever, but it's like y'all paying this money to watch these guys, and it's taken away from the real guys. And when someone want to complain about Spence and Crawford only making 700,000 views or whatever, but you guys have paid 300,000 for these guys or more, and that's not even real boxing. See how they got the sport all screwed up? And thanks to men like Bob Arum and Frank Warren, Ed Hearn, Mr. 1999, yeah, all that, and they making you pay for this bull crap, bro. Bull crap. Nobody wants to fight Deontay Wilder. Now, on one hand, that's like, okay, that's understandable because he knocks people out and you can end up with brain damage fighting that man, if not dead. But there's not a sanctioning body out here that will enforce fights for him. But they'll strip titles and everything away from him and other fighters. What kind of foolishness is that? Rick Hill, that's an interesting sentiment, but I don't know that I would think or even feel that kind of way. The only way that I could feel what you're saying on that is because if they don't make his title available, because they worked too hard to lift that title away from Wilder with everything that they pulled in order for that to happen. Planet 619, I'll tell you something. I think sometimes they really lie to the public what the real figures are. They lie. Because look at who's involved. This country is really predicated on ethnic drive. As long as they can keep people separated, my nationality is better than yours. We're up here, you're down there. Separate and different and unequal. They like that because the pulse of this nation is driven on that kind of foolishness. And I call it foolishness because every time you go to the store, every time you go to the doctor, every time the fire department got to come to your home or a mechanic got to work on your car, you don't know what that nationality going to be. But you look for those services to be rendered to you and you to be compensated and taken care of properly. You might have to have an operation. And that person that's going to operate on you his first language is not what you speak. This is the world we live in. And people make money off of that. If I can keep you fighting them other people that's not like you, then I can cater something exclusively to you. I could get you and your family and community of people's money and dollar bankable on this specific issue. But collectively as a whole, if you didn't buy into this separation thing that I was selling or whatever, then I can't make any money on you. See, Tank and Ryan, that was a black guy against a Latin guy, right? So there you go. Two communities of people. We're clashing, we're at war. And then you could tell the public, oh, there was 1 million buys on that. And that fans the flames because people think, well, that's because it's us against them. And we didn't get that one because Ryan lost that one, but the next guy, we get to put the next guy out there. Esau Cruz, he gonna get it. We can get our get back. You see the dissension they cause with that foolishness? And then you have certain ethnic people that'll get out there and tell you that black fighters don't sell. How is that possible? And maybe Spence and Crawford sold more than what they said. But if they hold that figure back, it drives two narratives. Those who want to prove it wrong by trying to beat the number, and those who are not going to give as much into it because of the number didn't meet an expectation that they said or whatever. When are you going to use your brain? You know how they say we took a poll and had a consensus that so many people, a percentage believe this or so many believe that. Did they actually come to your door and ask your opinion? Where the hell they drive this poll up from? Tay Jones, what's good with you, brother? I see you out there. So they get you to buy into that foolishness. Division, divisiveness, so that the PTB can remain in power over you and your ignorance. Universal truth. There you go. That's right, Jamal Davis. And they'll tell you that the fighters that you like don't sell. That's bullcrap. I always find it amazing that they do that with us. You can't tell me that Canelo been breaking the bank on the box office. They've been overpaying this guy, and they've marketed him, and they've shoved him out there as the so-called rear end of boxing. And of course, because the community support for his own, they raise that up, and they live on that mountain. They love that. And so what? He ain't fought the best guys or whatever. We still like our position. Don't that sound an awful lot like the people who enjoy being in the house with the slave master as opposed to the ones that were kept out in the field? And the ones who lived in the house with the master and the ones that were out in the field, they had a warring faction toward one another. And little be known, as history is always shot full of holes now and pages ripped, and now they're trying to erase. But a lot of times, often, more often than not, in order to be in the house with the master, you had to suffer castration and some type of humiliation and degradation to allow you to be in that particular place. Planet 619, you said it's interesting. Heck, I thought 675 itself was a good number. The reaction will be interesting when and if Canelo Charlo falls short of Tank and Ryan. Listen, that number is probably going to be told to be high because they want to keep what I'm talking about, keep that train moving down the track. I wouldn't be surprised if Spence and Crawford really did about 800. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tank and Ryan really did less than the million that they tried to say it did. But remember, the PTB likes to promote certain things. And you eat it up. That's just like when a certain man got in front of the cameras and said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't who you are. Huh? Did you believe that? The same man that spent his entire political career signing off and promoting laws that would keep you bound. Yeah. They call you predators. Predators? Really? But if we're predators, we didn't have islands where people can go and enjoy the lap of luxury with children, huh? Oops. Yeah. Think about it. All of them exclusive. But we're predators though. Super predators. They want your children and they not super predators. Salute to my brother Blue Blood Sports TV out there in the super chat. I appreciate you, Blue. He says salute to my bro Stormybman. The community appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, Blue. Thank you so much for showing up, brother, and your donation, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Blue. And Blue is the hardest working man in the community. He truly is. And man, I can't turn on the community page without seeing an update. Back at y'all with another one. Thank you again, Blue Blood, man. But yeah, these are things that, again, keeping you against one another, that's profitable. There ain't much profit in your unity. Because being unified, what happens is your dollars can be controlled even better. They do that. Shakers and Dice, what's good with you, says facts. Yeah. And all of this comes down to what you saw tonight. The Usyk versus Dubois fight in Poland. I want to ask anyone out there with one iota of sensibility and understanding of what I've been saying for the past 5 minutes. How in God's green earth was Dubois gonna come out of Poland with those belts lifted off of Alexander Usyk? Explain to me, how was that going to happen? I ain't talking about that 5th round knockdown that just turned into a, as Triple G has said, big drama show. That man would not have made it out of the ring with life in his body. I'm just being honest with you. You have to understand how things work in this world. Ten to 1 underdog. Frank Warren knew it was going to be a long shot. That's why he put on that awful display of anger. He's ready for a movie deal right now. Then you flash forward to the Efe Ajagba fight against Koso, and you saw how Koso behaved? Almost like lashing out, right? But the evening was saved by Jared, Big Baby Anderson. And can I tell you something and remind you of another? Jared did all of that with skill, people. Skill, technique, desire, and motivation. He was most motivated to stop Rudenko tonight. And he did just that. No fouling, just being busy, going to work, hard hat, lunch pail. And I almost left something out. Talking about how they want to split you and your thoughts toward the sport by keeping you separated. They'll tell you you don't sell. They'll tell you that the conflict between communities, that'll sell. That'll drive the box office dollar up. And you eat that up. But answer me this one question. Why is it whenever one of those guys that they want to deem great or potential to be great or is skillful and capable, why are they always comparing them and placing them on a pedestal of greatness with people who are like you? Or those that are in history like you? Hagler, Armstrong, Robinson, Ali. Huh? Why? If it's all about that supremacy, why aren't they talking about Dempsey, Marciano, Graciano? Puzzles me. You see? You see? Because aren't those historical greats? And I just named a couple. I could have said Pep. You know what I mean? Zale. LaMotta. But it's not about being great, really. It's not. It's about displacing you. Hello. Displacing you. That's what it's really about. Yeah. So doesn't Big Baby Anderson look even more stellar and stunning tonight? Did you see his power? Did you see his hand speed? Did you see him switch from orthodox to southpaw? Did he look better, faster, more mobile and agile than Danny Dubois? How about this? Big Baby can beat Alexander Usyk right now. But you think they're going to make that happen? Absolutely not. Anderson could have landed those body shots on Usyk and had him out of there in a couple of rounds. Frankenbois got lucky with a shot. Y'all ain't listening to me though. You ain't listening. I try to share things with you to help you open up your mind to what's really going on. But it becomes difficult. It becomes a difficult task. And in honor of Danny Dubois, who didn't seem to show any marked improvement off of his previous fight, let me have a word now from my brother Focus Ball.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the Focus Ball now.
Get you some of that Stormybman merchandise as well, and make sure somebody this Christmas gets Danny Dubois the Focus Balls, because he's in terrible need of some upper body and head movement if he's gonna remain in the sport of boxing. Yeah. Shower Al is asking, it's not that he wasn't just consistent and let his hands go, OG. Talking about Danny Dubois? No. You can't be what you are not. And Danny Dubois has always been a robotic sloth of a heavyweight. Strong as an ox and bull, but not fluid, not mobile, not athletic, ponderous, plotting. And even though they brought in a new trainer and everything, they're training him for the wrong things. '78 said it best when he said that when the guys like that show that cur in them that first time, it becomes easier each and every time the heat gets turned up. They look for an exit. They don't look to turn the heat down or to put the heat out. And that's because the teaching is not there. Jarrett showed marked improvement over his last fight, which was just a month ago, against Prince Charles Martin. Marked improvement. Daryl Alexander. Yeah. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. He was probably, what the hell is this? Threw it away. But see, if he watched the Stormybman lives, he'll see that commercial almost at the end of every live. Especially my boxing shows. You know, I don't play it during my Nerds on Culture or Kung Fu show. But on my boxing shows, I play it. Crazy. But all in all, it's been a pretty good evening, man. It's been a good evening of boxing. It's unfortunate that the Ajagba fight ended with a DQ. I would have loved to see him knock that dude spark out, as they say. But hey, what you gonna do, you know? I'm going to ask everybody one last time, smash my like button before you get up out of here. I want to say thanks again to those who contributed with the super chats. And hey, man, it's been a great day of boxing. We're going to get ready to roll out. There will be a call in tomorrow. I think I'm gonna cut it a little bit short though. Won't go to the 12:30 because got some things I gotta do. But maybe it'll go about an hour and a half. But I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. Appreciate everybody else that came out and those who was peeping through the blinds and the bushes. Hope that you got stuck with thorns and thistles. Means you just have to come on out into the light, man, and stop being, you know, a creep. Again, appreciate all of you. Gonna get on out of here. Time to wind it down. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Is this not why you were here?